In 1978, it was May of 78, Braniff Airlines came up with what they called the London Square Deal. It was a very good package of entertainment in London. Braniff had been flying to London nonstop from Dallas for several months, and the ridership had not picked up at that time, so they opened this package up for employees and dependents of the company. So it was a 3 nights and 4 day package, and we decided if we were to go, we would not have enough time to see everything, so we extended it into 4 nights and 5 days. So Alice, Cheryl, Guy, myself, and then Braniff employee and friends of the family, Sid and Sue Cloninger, the 6 of us got on this London Square Deal. It was really a great time of entertainment for everybody, and the fact that we extended our time, we had to stay at the Terra Hotel to start with for the first night, where we found the rooms to be very small and expensive. But anyway, we got to spend that extra day in London, which really made it worthwhile. After the first day, we moved over to our choice hotel, which was the Metropole group of hotels at the Marble Arch. So the first day of entertainment was to go to the Tower of London. That was the first morning we were there. We went to the Tower of London, and we'll start with our slides at that time. This is what you would expect to see while you're on tour at the Tower of London. That's Cheryl and Alice taking in some of the scenes at the Tower of London. Another typical scene. That might have been a beef eater in his exotic costume. This was a morning visit, and as you can see, it's quite a popular place. Now, they didn't let you take pictures of the crown jewels, but they did sell slides, which I purchased about 4 of. And this particular picture is of the crown jewels scepter. Crown jewels ampulla and anointing spoon. Crown jewel, this one is St. Edward's crown. Another crown jewel was the imperial state crown. Enough about the crown jewels. Now we have 4 other jewels. That's Guy, Cheryl, Alice, and myself. Picture was taken outside the Tower of London that has the moat and the drawbridges and all that kind of stuff around it. I want you to notice that Guy has on my top coat. Guy had taken along a jacket, but it turned to be pretty cool, or actually cold in May. So his jacket wasn't enough for him, so he got my top coat, wore it most of the time, and I was left with just my sport coat. Everybody else got those long coats on. Shirley and Guy standing on the wall at the Tower of London. Alice with Shirley and Guy. Alice has still got her umbrella handy, and obviously the flash didn't go off for this picture. Now the time is May the 13th. Of course, we're in 1978, and coincidentally it's Guy's birthday as well, his 19th birthday. We had booked a tour with the Evans sightseeing group, and this thing was going to take us on this particular Saturday night to an Elizabethan banquet. The Elizabethan banquet was held in Hatfield, which is about 21 miles from London, and it's held in what they call the Great Hall of the Old Palace. And what we're looking at here, there's a picture of Alice and Sue Cloninger and Cheryl at the table, and it was a great evening of great food, great entertainment, great company, and a lot to drink. So we'll continue on here with our Elizabethan banquet. Now we have Alice and Sue, Sid, Cheryl and Guy, all looking forward to a great night of fun and good food. All of the serving wenches dressed up in the Elizabethan costumes, and these things dated back to the 15th century. More of the fancy costumes, outfits, and that's Queen Bess in the background there. We'll see more of her later on. There's Queen Bess with a couple of the attendees. Now, if it was your birthday or if you were celebrating an anniversary, a special occasion, you had to go up to Queen Bess and get some sugar. And we had a hard time convincing Guy to do that, but he finally did, and it looks like he's having a little fun doing it. Looks like Guy and the Queen are talking things over there. That's Guy getting some sugar from Queen Bess. That's Queen Bess with a couple across the table from us. You may not be able to see, but that is Guy Thomas in the background there. Nice smile on his face. And I think he was being introduced to the crowd. Picture of all of those celebrating their birthdays and anniversaries doing the line dance there, it looks like. That's Guy in between the two ladies. I'm going to go back to the group picture with everybody but myself, because I'm taking the picture. This was, like I said, was a night of great entertainment and fun and food, and they had wine and our mead. We tried the mead and we didn't like it, so we drank the wine. I think we had chicken to eat for the entree. But everything was fine on the way out. This was a tour group, so we were all on the bus singing songs about different parts of the world that the people on the bus were from. And the same bus driver was taking us home. And we all loaded up about 11:30, 12 o'clock, I guess about 11:30, and headed back to London, which, like I say, was about 21 miles away. And instead of taking us back to the point where we departed, the bus driver stopped at some place that none of us knew where in the world we were, but he said, "This is it. This is the end of the line. Everybody has to get off." So all of us had to get off the bus, and we weren't anywhere close to the hotel where we had departed. We departed within walking distance from our hotel. So naturally, the next best thing is to try to flag down a taxi cab. And by then it was after midnight, and most of the cabs were either occupied or out for the rest of the evening. So we started walking in the direction to the hotel that we thought we could find a hotel. And we finally flagged down a taxi, and he was only supposed to hold 4 people max. Of course, there were 6 of us in our party. So I remember him telling Cheryl and Guy to be sure and stay low if they could, because he could be fined and lose his license if he was hauling more than 4 people. So he did get us back to the Metropole Hotel, and we were very happy about that, and gave him a very generous tip. And after getting back home, Cheryl, I know, wrote a nastygram to the Evans Tour Company about the experience that we had that particular Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And they responded saying that the tour driver erred and he should have taken us back. But that was all they said. They didn't offer any other compensation or anything like that. They just apologized and said that, you know, they would take measures that it wouldn't happen again. But it was a shame the way the evening ended, because it was so much fun. We left the hotel about 6 and expected to get back, you know, around 12:30, but it was quite a bit later than that because of the walking that we had to do, plus the getting the taxi driver to take us the rest of the way. Anyhow, that pretty well sums up the Elizabethan banquet, and we'll move on to other sightseeing areas of London. This is a picture taken from our hotel room. I think we were on about the 21st floor of this hotel, which is really nice. Expensive, but nice. That's the River Thames. That's the Tower Bridge on the River Thames. That's the 4 of us with the Tower Bridge in the background. Sue and Sid Cloninger, our traveling companions. There you get a little bit of a look at the English architecture. Now this is Trafalgar Square. I'm sure there's a lot of history behind it. Another picture of the river with the English Navy ships on the right hand side. Her Majesty's fleet. Alice and Sue on our tour bus. Cheryl, Guy, Sid, and myself were probably out walking around. Cheryl and Guy, and that's Westminster Abbey in the background, and you can see a little bit of the clock, Big Ben. You probably noticed that everybody had long coats on, but still we had people in kayaks in the river there with Westminster Abbey and Big Ben in the background. I count about at least 6 people in kayaks, and I think they were having a little bit of a race on that particular day. Now there was a stop on the next stop on the tour was to go through the Westminster Abbey, and there was a section in there that you could do brass rubbings, and that's where we are right now. Cheryl's sitting there, looks like she has my camera case in tow. There's Alice and Guy doing their brass rubbing at the Westminster Abbey and also St. Margaret's Church. All you need to do with this brass rubbing is to get the special paper. You buy your special paper, and it's like a gold crayon, and you just keep rubbing and follow the instructions, and you can make a nice rubbing that's really suitable for home decorations or give it to as a gift or whatever. We brought all of ours home and framed them. Betty Pollock framed them for us, and the kids and Alice's turned out great. Mine, I had a hard time staying within the lines, and she had to do a lot of masking with mine. It turned out to be kind of small, but the kids, Cheryl and Guy and Alice, did some great rubbings there, and we still have those brass rubbings on our walls in our homes here. Now the next group of slides are taken on our tour to the Windsor Castle. There is a castle behind all of the trees and the brush there. Just look close. Guy and Cheryl at the Windsor Castle. There's a pretty good idea of the road leading to the castle. Mine with trees on either side of the road there. Been a much better picture if the sun ever came out. We didn't see much of the sun though during our visit to London. Pretty much the same, just a little bit closer view of the castle. As you can see, this was a pretty popular place and a popular tour. We thought it was good and enjoyed it. Another picture of downtown London. Now we have several slides of changing of the guard. This is always done in the morning, and it's very impressive. I took quite a few slides of this. They might seem to be redundant, but every slide has got a little different activity going on. As you can see by the size of the crowd, this is one of the most important tours and events of your tour of London. I think I had to get there about an hour early to get a good spot to take pictures of this event. Here they come. You can see the red in the background there.
This role you ever played, Hollywood created a superstar, fame with a price to pay. Even when you die, oh, the press still hounded you. All the papers had to say was that Marilyn was found in the news. Seems to me you live your life like a candle in the wind.
You notice here the gates finally opened at Buckingham Palace, and the guards are being changed. And it started to rain. As you can see, the colorful umbrellas came out. The British really believe in ceremony and pomp. All of this probably required about 2 hours of time. Very ceremonial. These are the guards being relieved. And the last slide we have of changing of the guard. One day during our travels, we had lunch at a place called Ye Old Cheshire Cheese Restaurant. And it was quite a place. I'll never forget it. That's me, Sid, Sue on the left, Cheryl and Guy on the right. I don't see Alice. She must have been taking the picture. There's our waiter in the background, white shirt and arms outstretched. He was quite a character. Here are 5 of us. I guess Sid must be taking the picture. As we are leaving this famous restaurant, which is on the second floor, climb up a flight of stairs to get there. And some of their special hot dishes, I recall, were steak, kidney, mushroom, and game. Or you could have roast beef with Yorkshire pudding and horseradish sauce. Another picture of downtown. You can see the double-decker bus on the right side. And that's St. Paul's Cathedral in the background. You can see the dome. And somewhere around here was Piccadilly Circle. I remember that, just don't know which one of these slides depicted Piccadilly Circle. We did some shopping in this area. I think we went to Harrods and all bought some souvenirs. This is a time exposure taken from the hotel room. Probably was camera had the film exposed for maybe about 5 minutes to show you the lights at night. Here we are on the Braniff 747-200 series airplane with Q engines, headed back to US of A. Alice and I were sitting in the double seat just ahead of Shirley and Guy, and I believe Sid and Sue were just ahead of us. I do remember Sue had a migraine headache on the way back home. It was probably about a 7-hour flight. And this is the end of the slides of our tour to London. Now in the summer of the same year, 1978, we all went to San Antonio and had a family reunion, the Pollock family reunion, and it was held at Comanche Park. None of us can recognize the kids on the back end of that pickup truck or even who the pickup truck belonged to. It seemed like most of the slides are of the structures there and the backs of people. So you're going to listen to a lot of music as we go through the next few slides. Now we finally get to recognize a couple of the people here. There's Alice and Betty, and the third lady there might be either Ginger Pollock or Lillian Kaloji Oberg. Another trip that we made during the summer of 1978 was a trip that Alice and Paul and Lisi and I made to Washington, D.C. Paul had not been there, and neither did Lisi. Of course, Alice and I had been there. But the four of us flew up to Washington, D.C. and spent a few days there and showed the youngsters some of the important areas of Washington, D.C. Here we're in the rotunda, and that's Alice standing in front of a statue to Sam Houston with Texas engraved in the pedestal there. Now, I'm sure that's some of the granite from Texas supporting the statue of Sam Houston. That's about all we could get in of Sam Houston. Of course, we did the tour of the White House, and here's the big desk in the Oval Office. That's actually the back side of the Capitol building. We're always so impressed with the guards at the tomb of the unknown soldier. So naturally we had to take Paul and Lacey there, and took several slides. I'd have to say that's Paul and Lacey there. Changing of the guard always brings a crowd. In fact, a lot of the tours have their time set where they bring the group of people in at the time that the guards are changing, which is happening right here. Paul and Lacey in the big chair in the amphitheater right behind the tomb of the unknown soldier. There's Paul and Lacey. Alice with Paul and Lacey at John F. Kennedy's burial spot. The circular pad at the back of the gravesite is the eternal flame, gas-fed flame that burns 24/7. And that's all the slides we have of Paul and Lacey's trip to Washington, D.C.